I've been instructed to seek the short adjournment
on the 8th, 10th.
It touches rights and possibly the Constitution, so that can be given priority, Mr. Chairman. Wednesday probably would be convenient to us and court. So
we are maintaining formation and ruling.
The ruling was not made by the senior counsel director. She was not before court on that day. So we would expect the ruling.
Any confusion about that, we need to clear the air. To represent a client means speaking for them, receiving rulings. Whatever the clients can do, we are here to do it for them. The things that were supposed to happen to them on that day, for a lawyer on the other side to say that somehow lawyers who are not ready to receive a ruling.
We are most obliged.
Yeah, I think that one is over.
Honorable Chairman and members of this Honorable Court, we propose to start court at 10.
At 10?
Also, I
think it is okay also. Colonel retired Dr. Kizza and your colleague, your case is adjourned to 10th December 2024 for mention and ruling on issues raised by Road Mayor.
Handsets, because ordinarily when you go to a court, you must be equipped with all the tools that you need to discharge your duties as counsel. And the phone these days is a computer. And actually for us, we are modest enough. We do not carry huge gadgets like laptops, iPads and whatnot. We just wanted to use our phones to be able to make reference to the authorities, the cases, the volumes of laws. You know the huge volumes of laws of Uganda, which you cannot carry here. If you were to do that, it would be truckloads. But in modern times, that is a given. You cannot stop lawyers from accessing the premises of this tribunal, degrading and the embarrassing treatment that they arraigned before court here. So we could not proceed under those circumstances. When we had the conference and conferred with the accused persons, we agreed that yes, we can have this matter stood over for just one day. We first worked the process of securing the temporary certificate for our counsel here. Unfortunately, the court could not accommodate us. They have adjourned it the 7th day. That is to the 10th day rather. That is next week. Of course, that to us was rather unfair because you know our clients have been incarcerated. Initially, they were in illegal detention under the military courts here, and as you also know, up to now they have not been properly processed through the immigration. They are still considered to be visitors of Kenya. As we speak today, they are still visitors of Kenya. The immigration of Kenya and Uganda has never cleared them to cross back here. And of course, there are issues of rights. But by and large, the environment we have witnessed here is not conducive, is not concomitant with the dictates of rule of law, good governance, and most important, dispensation of justice. So as lawyers, we are determined today, we are only 35 who appeared here, and they had to take us through those rigorous processes of accessing the chambers here, which was really uncalled for. But next time we appear here, the number is going to be much bigger. And it is on that note that I will request our senior counsel, who is our team leader, to brief you on how we are going to proceed as a legal team.
The humiliating body search that I was subjected to twice, and all members of the legal profession were subjected to. First at the gate, then as we entered the courtroom, another body search. And I'm asking the officers, between the gate and here, and most people have left their briefcases at the gate. What would make them subject us to a second body search? Secondly, I have not yet had audience, the right of audience in court, because I'm not yet licensed to practice in Uganda. I'm expecting a special license to be issued by the Law Council. As it has been indicated, I applied last week. I was informed that they do not process digital applications. So my physical application was brought on Wednesday, and it was taken by the law firm of Lukwago and Company. And it has not yet been processed, but I have been promised by the chair of the Law Council, Justice Mliangoja, that we may hear from them as early as tomorrow. We have been able to have audience with our client in the court, within the court precincts, and our client was very firm that we ought to apply for adjournment. I should say our clients, not client. So that the abduction